The issues already America is doing to the people of Venezuela is that they are cutting them off from the rest of the world. You cannot do business with them. When you do business with them, America looks at you as an enemy of them. So they are using the rest of the world to fight their enemy. Venezuela is not Uganda's enemy. Venezuela is not the French enemy.
No.
Venezuela could, and for them, Venezuela could be having a bone to pick with America. But we don't have a bone to pick with Venezuela. So you can't make me hate Venezuela because you hate him. That's what America is doing. And they have been playing this stupid game for many years. That when they hate you, they put travel bans on that country. They put business bans. Look at Cuba. For over 64 years, under embargo, that you can't trade with Cuba. You, America, if you have problems with Cuba, Uganda doesn't have, Irumba doesn't have.
Settlers mindset. Donald Trump is a settler. His family is a settler. They came to a new land that was not their land, and they decided to make it their own, which was America at the time, right? But those were settlers. They have that settlers mentality. They have that mentality of, if I take over and I do better than you in your land, then it should be my land. That's what they think. But they never do better than the people of the land. Never. So they start to trick it, to hide it, to play those games, right? But Honorable Speaker, you start by asking me a very important question, right? How can Trump does that to Venezuela? What is America planning?
What is the
plan? And it's interesting because we have made some research, right, with the research team of the Pan-African Pyramid. What we have found is three interesting things. We have found three interesting things that make me the confidence, that give me the confidence to answer your question very clearly. Yes, Donald Trump is planning
to
attack and
Venezuela,
to organize regime
and
change
overthrow
in Venezuela. Why does he do this? For the petrol. There's a lot of petrol there. He needs petrols in order to fight the competition with China.
Free your mind now. Be part of the People's Pan-African Parliament. The Pan-African Pyramid Debate with your speaker, Andrew Irumba Katusabe.
The Pan-African Pyramid Weekly Round Show. My name is Andrew Irumba Katusabe. Comrade Lissafre Thomas is our senior reporter, senior researcher. He's a recipient of the Pan-African Pyramid, recipient of cohort 2014. Comrade Lissafre has been in France. He just lost his grandfather. I would like to, first of all, pass my condolences on behalf of the Pan-African Pyramid fraternity across the world for the loss of your patriarch.
Yes.
I know you've been talking about him. I know what it means. I know what you have lost. Maybe I'll give you an opportunity to first begin with a little bit of your family history and how the loss of your grandpa means to you.
Yeah, the man was 99 years old, so 99 years, it's almost like a century. He has made a long life.
He was left with only 1 year to make a century.
6 weeks.
6 weeks.
6 weeks before he was a century, but it seems like he has decided he has done his duty. He has been called back. No, I think two interesting things I think I can share with people. Is the first one, we also, white Europeans, we also have some culture and family cultures, and you see them in funerals. And so for like firstborn in the family and firstborn men especially, we have certain responsibility. Also firstborn women have certain responsibility. But you have to be there. You have to be there to organize and for the mooring. One thing I learned from my grandfather, which by the way used to watch this show exactly like you do.
Yeah, you told me last time. Actually, your grandpa used to watch this show.
He didn't speak English, so he didn't very understood what we were talking about much. But he used to look, and he was proud of it. He would brag. He would brag to his friends.
My grandson is in Kampala. He's in Africa talking.
He knows, and he even was interested into me trying to give conference to even some of his friends that side. He wanted them to understand Africa much better. What's maybe on the last point? When you are in when you are in that situations, it's the time where you start to realize what matters and what doesn't matter. And one of the things I have realized, and I think a lot of people also can relate to that, is that when you die, whatever you've been rich or poor in your life is not so important, because you don't die with things around you. You don't die with a fancy car, you don't die with a fancy house, you don't die with all those fancy things. What are around you when you pass away, or when you are called back by the Lord, is your people. Is your people, the people that
Once
you
you're
have
gone,
helped, the
you're
people
gone.
that remembers you, right? So and that's I met people from back in the days, and your grandfather in the 70s, he helped me to build my house, so I won't forget about that. Oh no, your grandfather's when in the 60s, he did ABCD with me, and so that's why I'm here today. People came from all around the place to pay tribute to the men. And at the end of the day, it's not what you own. It's, capitalists will tell you it's about what you own, your car, your villa, or your travel. It is not about that. It's about what you have done for the people, and those people will bring that back to you on the last day.
Very good.
That being said, we have a lot of news to discuss today.
So now, I want to discuss G20 South Africa, Trump versus Venezuela, Maduro, Indian Ocean politics or politricks. And then if time allows, we want to look at the newest country now that seems to be having a new leadership in terms of a coup d'etat. Last night one government in Africa fell. What's that country, remember?
Equatorial Guinea.
Equatorial Guinea now has sort of, the president is now, I'm told, he's under arrest.
And there's less people in this country than there is in Kampala.
Yeah,
it's a big country.
The population of Kampala is bigger than the entire country of Guinea-Bissau. Okay, now let's begin with the G20 or the Indian Ocean. You wanted to start with the Indian Ocean, isn't it?
Yes.
Indian Ocean, what I can say about Indian Ocean, I have even actually yesterday, some Ugandans have gone to East African Court of Justice. That they have taken Kenya to court.
Yes.
They want court to declare that Uganda should and must have a safe pathway and even have an allocation of land on the Indian Ocean. A part of Indian Ocean should be for Uganda, so that they also build their terminals and so on. And it's for me, it was like, I think, there's a problem in Africa. Lissafre, the solution to the Indian Ocean phrase with Kenya and Uganda, the solution is just one. What Museveni has been pretending to be championing: East African community, and a borderless Africa. If you remove borders from the East African community, all of us become shareholders of the Indian Ocean automatically. Yes. If you remove borders from the entire Africa, even a Burkinabe in Burkina Faso has a share in the Indian Ocean in Kenya, because we are one country. But now, these people are trying to influence that. No, we should remain Uganda, Kenya, Tanzania, Rwanda, but then courts should help us carve out a piece on the Indian Ocean, and that one should be Ugandan. To go there, you're going to pass through Kenya. Kenya can close its borders tomorrow if you disagree.
Or if you change the price of coffee, let's say you try to sell cheaper coffee.
If you deny their goods to pass at the border here, Malaba, Busia, if you deny their goods to come, their eggs to come to Uganda, they can also close the road to your small island on the Indian Ocean. They will close it. So, what is the ultimate solution? The ultimate solution is that Africa should be one country. But if it is hard for you right now, start with the East African community, because it's already there. These East African leaders have done everything to convince us that we are one. But they have failed to accept the truth that unless we have political integration, all these other social, economic, and so on, that now our goods can cross borders, all that is nonsense. The only solution will be the political integration. When you have one president in East Africa, and then you have the prime minister, picked from Rwanda. Then you have the army commander picked from Kenya. Then you have Minister of Agriculture picked from South Sudan. Then you have Minister of Foreign Affairs, wherever it is, picked from Tanzania. You'll have a common place called East Africa as the one country. Yes. For me, that's what I think. So I've seen people trying to waste time. You're wasting time that we are going to that they are going to East African court. First of all, every election that has happened in East Africa, including Uganda, people have gone to East African court to make a ruling. No, even right now, Tanzania. You have seen Tanzania.
Yes.
They have even ignored the East African court. They have gone to ICC.
Yes.
Because your thing doesn't work. Let me hear you.
When you have those borders, you're right that what you introduce is competitions.
Yeah.
You introduce competitions between people that should not be in competition.
Yes.
There's no interest.
We should be competing with America.
We should be competing.
We should be competing with Asia.
With China that use the minerals that we export for their own good and benefit, right? So that's where the competition should be. So as we start the competition between ourselves, and then we are weakened by this competition, and then we go through the world, and we front like stronger power. We front stronger powers because they have achieved that internal competition issues. China is 1.2 billion people. It has more inhabitants than Africa has. It used to have. Now it's rebalancing, but it's almost equal. That means they have solved those problems. No one in China is asking if people of Xinjiang, which is the western part of China, have access to the ocean in Beijing or Taiwan. No, they do have access. They have access. They have access because they are one, right? No one is asking in Europe if Poland has access to the harbor in France. They do, because there is European Union, right? So what also our audience should understand is that this creates conflict and tensions that weaken us in the international competitions, right? It is not just a conversation about, is it us to get the Indian Ocean, or we get a share, we get no shares? No, all of those divisions, they increase the price of things for all consumers, and they increase the price of services for outside companies. So now they make more money. They make more money. They have to open one office in Kampala, one office in Nairobi, one office in Dar es Salaam. But at the end of the day, they don't even touch more people than one province of China. So in terms of business, it is not even efficient. It is not even an efficient system. But when we think of ocean politics, we are at the heart of Pan-Africanism. We are at the heart of Pan-African. That's what we are asking. We are asking, why is Uganda still locked in borders, imagined and made by people that have zero interest into the growth of Uganda, right? Why is it that the British that have made those borders still are ruling the relationship between Ugandans and Kenyans? It makes no sense. And as soon as the people knows how to bypass those borders, by the way, when they want to smuggle coffee to Kenya, they knew how to smuggle coffee to Kenya. If they want to smuggle gold from Congo to Uganda, they know how to do it. So basically what we have is a situation where it's only fights that come out, and when you have collaborations, it is under the radar. Collaboration is happening, but it's under the radar. It doesn't have tax. It doesn't have borders. It has networks, right? Africa should work as a network right now. We're at the time where, remember the time where President Museveni had to choose between exporting Ugandan petrol towards Nairobi, to Mombasa, or Dar es Salaam. They were a competition. Now Kenya and Tanzania wanted the pipelines, right? But now that we're asking for direct access to the sea, it's more complicated. You understand? So this is a Pan-African topic, and what we want is to make our audience understand that those borders only protect the national bourgeoisie of their countries. So those borders make the Kenyan rich, the Kenyan elite rich, the Ugandan elite rich, but it doesn't make the normal citizen capacity to travel, capacity to exchange, right? Second point on this topic, because I feel like it's an important point.
Sure, it is.
For how long are we going to accept to be divided? Kwame Nkrumah asked us that in 1957.
For how long
are we going to accept to be divided? Because when we are divided, other people strengthen their power and get stronger and stronger, right? Here in East Africa, we have countries that are more or less equal. We don't have like a big Nigeria that is stronger than others, or big South Africa that is stronger than its neighbors. We are almost equal, right? Now we are fighting each other. But do you know that Europeans have fight each other for like 1,000 years before they came out with European Union, thinking like, no, you know what? It's better to collaborate than to conflict, right? Now here we are in the politics of conflict. Oh, Kenya doesn't want to give us that? We are going to negotiate with Tanzania. If Tanzania give it to us, then we're going to go to Kenya and say, look, listen, Tanzania has given us that. What are you giving us? You know, we are in those politics because we don't have unity. At the moment we have unity, like Europeans have done with European unions, there is collaboration. Those collaboration threaten growth. It gives opportunity to people. Those borders prevent opportunity. They keep alive gatekeepers that we have zero interest about. And when there is real good business happening, when there is real collaboration between African, let's say, merchants or people, then it happened under the radar. The gold of Sudan, the gold of Congo, it passed through Uganda, it passed through Kenya. We don't see it in the borders. There's no borders for this gold. But there's a border for the Congolese that is trying to go to Uganda or to go to Kenya, right? So why do we introduce borders for those people and no borders for the goods that have values? You understand? So landlocked countries like Ethiopia and Uganda has the right to access the sea, exactly like Burundi has with Dar es Salaam and Tanzania. In Dar es Salaam, there's a container port of the harbor that is only and fully owned by Burundi. And Burundi control what's happening, Burundi police control what is coming in, what is coming out. There is ways to do those things. The fact that in 2025, we still haven't reached a point where we have common agreement on how to use the oceans has been a big mistake. Also remember, just for people to understand that the deepness of those conversations, it is not a conversation of 2025. The people of Kenya are Ugandans. The people of Kenya are Ethiopians. The people of Kenya are South Sudanese. Why am I saying this? Because we know that at the moment when the Swahili coast developed, right, at the moment of the Sultanate of Zanzibar, the Sultanate of Lamu, when the Swahili coast emerged, 14th century, 15th century, 16th century, majority of Africans were living within land. They moved to the coastal. They created that Swahili culture, and then they become Kenyan because of the British stamping them as Kenyans. But 2 or 3 generations before, they were in South Sudan, they were in Uganda, they were in Congo, they were in Ituri, they were in many places around Africa. They moved to Kenya because of business opportunities, because there were no border at the time. And then suddenly in 1960, they become Kenyan. But doesn't make them Kenyan. They were Africans. Kenyans have today, people that speak Swahili are descendants of migration from Central Africa to the coastline because there were better business to do. So Kenyans don't have a historical right to use that coastline. Who used that coastline is the people that goes there and manage to make a living out of this. This is Africa. There's no foreigners in Africa. No African foreigners in Africa. There is no. And you see, it relates to the G20. Let me tell you, it relates to the G20. Because at the G20, Ramaphosa,
let me introduce it very properly.
Maybe introduce the G20 because it relates to the G20.
The 2025 G20 Johannesburg Summit was the 20th meeting of the Group of 20. G20 means Group of 20. A head of state and government meeting held at the Johannesburg Expo Center, Johannesburg, South Africa, on 22nd. Started on 22nd and ended on 23rd November 2025. It was the first G20 summit to take place on the African continent. Can you imagine? This was the first ever G20 on the African soils. It was also notable for the non-attendance by the leaders of several major economies, including China and Russia and America, Trump. So all the other powerful leaders that make up the G20, America, China, and Russia, who had been attending all the previous summits, once it came to African soils, South Africa to be specific, they all
vanished. But this is good news.
But let me, before you come, let me tell you another thing. Yesterday I visited the South African embassy in Uganda. It's called the High Commission in Uganda. And I had very good conversations with some of my friends inside there. They shocked me. I was shocked. You know what they told me? I will not mention their names. America attended all the preparatory meetings of the G20 in South Africa. And how many were they? They had 108 preparatory meetings for the G20. And America was always
there.
Everything they agreed was done. On the D-Day, America says, I'm not attending. You have been a part of the preparatory meetings. You have even contributed financially. You have contributed idea-wise. You have contributed in terms of other facilities. All of us have been looking forward for a G20 where you have been a participant in the meetings. Now, on the D-Day, you say, I am not coming. And the reason are very flimsy. You know, Trump, I think America made the greatest mistake to have a president called Trump.
You see, that's where I wanted to lead you.
So, I don't understand. The reasons, even a P1 child in African brains, the P1 child, cannot bring the argument of Trump why they are not not attending the summit. A P1 child in Africa. Leave alone those children of yours there. But a P1 child in Africa here cannot buy the argument, stupid argument of Trump not attending. Number two that excited me about Ramaphosa is that the man now became more emboldened.
Very true.
Yes, and I like that. I love that. He told them, if you don't want to come, it's okay. It's your choice, but we shall go ahead.
Yeah, we'll go ahead.
Number one. Number two, when they said America said we are going to send somebody junior to pick the mantle, the leadership to the next. Trump said it, Ramaphosa said it's okay. I'm also going to appoint somebody junior to that level so that they exchange your tools of power of this office, of this G20. You send me a secretary of state, I appoint here, I create here somebody equivalent of your secretary of state, and I give him the tools and he hands over to you and you go. Business finished. Business finished. So I found that, yes, we have started speaking. And this is what we have been talking about, Lissafre. We should stop when an American president steps in Africa. Yeah? It's like the entire continent paralyzes. All the attention goes to that president. What he speaks is what makes news. No. We must now start sitting on this round table like this one, and we speak like equals.
Yes.
I have this idea, okay, but I also have this one. What can work for our people? Both Africans and Americans. What can work for our people? That is what they call engagement. And I'm happy. This time Ramaphosa, this is not curl his tail like he did when he went to the White House. Yes. This time they found him on the home turf.
Yes.
Home turf.
Kral, as they say in South Africa.
Go ahead with what you wanted to say.
You see, the 3 points, very important. First point is it's to our audience that listen to Donald Trump and think he's great and things like this. Because we know there's those people in Kampala, in Mbarara. There's people that think he's doing a great job. Would you accept your president, wherever you are listening to this, would you accept your president to organize 180 meetings, to pay diplomats for 180 meetings, pay per diem, pay flight ticket, pay hotel rooms, in very fancy hotels? Those are millions of dollars to finally withdraw on the last day when the decisions are taken. Would you accept your leadership to do that? If your leadership was doing that, would you be happy? You would not be happy. And that shows the reality of the Trump administration, which is a lot of noise, a lot of talking, a lot of things on social media, or Trump is not coming, But at the end of the day, it's not Trump is coming or not coming that is important. It's the fact that Americans have paid for this whole things of 180 meetings when they try to shape the decisions because they think it's important to be there. And suddenly they're not there anymore because Donald Trump alone has decided it's not worth it, right? So Trump is an impostor. Trump is showing his real
color.
Yeah, his real colors. His lack of consistency impact American power. You see what I mean? It's not the reverse. It's not Trump making America great again.
No.
It's Trump weakening America wherever
Again.
he goes. Again and again and again.
Trump,
right?
Trump weakening America again.
Exactly. So that's the first point. Trump nonsense is being exposed here. Ask yourself, would you accept that from your president or not? If you're Trump supporters, ask yourself that, and I'm sure the answer will be clear. Second point, very important that you bring, very important point that speakers have bring here. America is withdrawing. China has withdrawn. They don't want to come to Africa. This is great. So we
And
can
Russia,
speak,
Putin.
so we can speak,
Russia did also
and
attend.
Russia also for another reason. We can start to speak as African of what is it that the development of the world should be going to. Are we accepting? If we have America and China at this table, can we speak about the fact that 30% of rare minerals, 30% of the minerals that serve the transformation of battery and all those things that those big companies need, outside of those 30%, 90% are mined in China or the US. 90% of our rare minerals are transformed outside of the continent. That's what we want to speak about. But if you speak about that in China and America is there, they will tell you, no, it's okay. We are friends. We will give you stadiums. We will give you roads. We will give you ABCD. But when we start to speak together, we realize, wait, they buy your diamonds for how much? Oh, 150. Okay, they buy my diamond for 125. Why is it that we have two different conditions? If we call them, they're not answering. You understand? They need our resources to develop. We're saying, listen, we want to sit as African head of state, African diplomat, and say, listen, outside of this G20, this is what Africa needs. And I think that's what Ramaphosa have understood very well. Ramaphosa have understood that this G20 is for Africa. It's not just for South Africa. Because he said, it's for global South, it's for climate justice, it's for industrialization, and it's for reimagining multilateralism, because it doesn't like those bilateral things. When South Africa has to negotiate with America, it doesn't work. If all Africa negotiate with America, they listen to us. If only one African head of state goes there, they just make noise. There's 54 of them. It's not so interesting. If the 54 agrees on the message that they deliver, the message will be heard. Right? So very important to point out the fact that when in those conferences, America, Russia, or China want to leave the chair, that's okay, because it's for us now to take the lead of the conversation and shows that we deliver better, faster for the people. You understand? We deliver better and faster without them than with them. That's what we have to show. And then they will run and come back to the table, because when they will see that we're making more progress without them, then they will realize, we start to realize, we're making progress because Americans are not there, or because Chinese are not there. So I'm not saying the G20 should be an African Union meeting, but I'm saying that the G20 in Africa should support the ambition of the African continent. And Irumba, Ramaphosa have understood that. He has launched the initiative, the Ubuntu Initiative for African Infrastructure. Because now, how do you understand that there is no road from Kampala to Johannesburg? Yet, if you look at the planes that go from Kampala to Johannesburg, there's a lot of exchange. Because we need some of the mineral engineers that South Africa has developed. But they also need new mines opportunities and new business opportunities in Uganda. So there's a lot of exchange. But there's no infrastructure to go through all of this. There's no infrastructure for the Ugandan coffee to be sold in South Africa rather than to be sold in China or Italy or Switzerland. So together, South Africa has come with this initiative. Let me now test your Zulu, okay? Because this initiative has a Zulu name. Obviously, South Africa being South Africa, they don't come with those English names, right? So for those initiatives on infrastructure, they say Umuntu, Ngumuntu, Ngabantu. You see? You see? That's the unity of Africa.
Ngabantu.
I can tell you, they didn't read this.
We are because, I am because we are.
Exactly.
I
Right?
am because we are.
And you know that from? Because it's also something you can say in Uganda, right? Because it relates, right? So this is the politics that we want. We want those politics that are driven for the continent. We go and the G20 comes to Africa, very good. But rather than trying to divide ourselves, this Congolese president is saying this, the South African president is saying, we said no, Africa needs infrastructure. Not just South Africa, not just Congo. Actually, Africa and South Africa and Congo are more connected than Congo and Kenya, for instance. Yeah, it is.
Because of minerals.
Because of minerals. So Lubumbashi has minerals, Johannesburg also has a lot of warehouse, so there is those connections. So we want Ubuntu Initiative for African Infrastructure, and all of this will happen, Ubuntu, Ngabantu. Thank you so much.
You've learned that
Thank
one.
you so much. They came and they said, listen, there's three topics. There's three topics, right? I will try to make it simple for our audience. there's three key topics that come out of such a big meetings, right? The first one is to increase the funding for renewable energy. This is a South African agenda because South Africa has to transition from coal energy to solar panels and water and things like this. So they have been asked to do this by European Union, by China, by COP and all those institutions, but no one is funding. No one is helping to bring the money, right? So how are you supposed to transform your economy, but no one is bringing the money? So increased funding for renewable infrastructure, that was Ramaphosa's signature on the document, I can say. Then you have the second one, which is truly an African and Pan-African agenda, which is equitable critical mineral supply, right? Equitable critical mineral supply. What does it mean? It means that for certain minerals, we cannot treat them outside of Africa. If you want cobalt, great, come and buy cobalt from here. But it's going to be transformed to what you need. So if you need your cobalt inside a battery, with making a battery, then you buy the battery. You don't buy the cobalt. If you need copper to make a pipe, because you want to use some water for something, you buy the pipe. You don't buy the copper, right? So this is called equitable critical mineral supply. We need to control the critical minerals supply to the world economy. We can't just let the minerals go like this. That was the second point, right? What was the first point? You see, first point, renewable energy. We need funding for renewable energy for South Africa, especially. Here in Uganda, we don't have this problem because we get our electricity from the Nile, right? But some other African countries, they're not as clean as we are. So they need those energy. Without electricity, there's no development. There's no development. So if we have expensive electricity, there's no development for our people. So we don't want that. Then supply of minerals, they should stay in Africa before they get exported. Mombasa, Dar es Salaam, Durban, Dakar, Abidjan, Luanda, all those harbors should not be able by law.
Actually, I'm glad to tell you that I've been attending a conference where an African minerals organization called PANAFGEO.
Yes.
Although it's being sponsored by your people there, but at least it's an organization of African countries trying to galvanize and synergize to ensure that they protect their resources, but also make good use, exploit these resources, and first have knowledge about our resources, because also we don't have knowledge about our resources. So these are geosurveyors of Africa. The geosurveyors of Africa have created an organization to start even trying to find out which are our minerals, where are they, in what quantities, where are they, how do we exploit them, how do we package them. This relates very well with President Museveni's new
Pan-African
that we
agenda.
must not export raw materials.
Yeah, we must not.
We must add value from here. This is the same language we've been doing in Burkina Faso.
Yeah, of course.
Traoré. That's why Traoré cancelled all the contracts between France and Burkina Faso. That's why he has influenced Mali and Niger to do the same. I think that's why there is now, last night there was a coup d'etat in Equatorial Guinea, because they're learning. So this is very important, my brother.
Very, very important.
Yeah.
And it's called
And I'm
economic
sure
sovereignty.
they will be supported locally here by other African countries who are going through the experience
And
anyway.
the problem is what? Outside of those minerals, maybe 25 people get rich.
Yeah.
And those are the 25 people we need to fight. No one else is getting rich from those minerals. No one is enriching himself. Neither the miners, neither the supply chain, no one. There's 20 to 25 people that got the mineral out, they get rich out of it. But what we need is to spread and break those cartels. Those are cartels, like mafia cartels. You see, if we had our own Netflix, we could do videos like those cartels of cocaine and, like Narcos. I don't know if you heard about that show. It's very famous in America. Now they watch Latin America shows about cocaine, Pablo Escobar, things like this. Yes, we have those cartels. We have those cartels. We have people like this that we have to dismantle. The Escobars, they are here, they are in Kenya, they are in Uganda. Those Escobars, those people that get rich outside of one businesses that serve no one. It serves only themselves, right? So we have those cartels that control the export of gold, of diamonds, of platinum, we break those cartels by law. And we say, no, listen, as a continent, now we are refusing that Uganda export, 10 tons of gold if it doesn't have 10 tons of gold in its own central bank. We are refusing that Uganda finance the central bank of China. Why are the gold of Congo supplying the central bank of London? So London has a strong currency, so when they come here, we are weak. You understand those things? They get rich and strong and solid because of our minerals. They are strong and solid because we stay on our knees. They are tall because we are on our knees. We look at them like this. Oh, you are tall, but you're sitting on your knees. You don't stand, my brother. We stand, and together.
He's tall because you're on your knees.
Exactly.
The moment you stand, you'll be equal.
You two are equal, and that's what he fears. That's why we should be happy when they leave the room. Oh, Trump is leaving the room. Very good. So as we can organize without this, because let me tell you about the last initiative they done for that G20. They want to create regional borrowers projects, right? What does it mean? It means that the poor nations that have borrowed money, now they have to deal with the borrowers, right? So let's say China gave 10 million to Central Africa, and then he gave 5 million to Kenya, and then 5 million to Uganda. Uganda, Kenya, and Central Africa, they're all standing in line in China office like this. They want to show that they are the best. They are better than their neighbors, right? So they have better conditions for debt, right? What South Africa is saying, and the G20 is saying, African head of state have said, no, listen, we should never allow us to go alone to those meetings. We should go together, or there is no meetings. Because when Africa couldn't pay back the debt in the 90s, which basically that's another topic, if you want us to speak about that, we could speak about that, because Africa has paid back the debt. But they said they haven't paid back the debt, they should pay more, right? You know what they did? They all sit together in a banking club. All the banks that have lended money to African state, they sit together and they said, listen, we are going to find solutions together, because otherwise we're going to get divided and those guys will play us. Now we have to do the same thing. As borrowers, we have to sit together and say, no, Central Africa, Kenya, and maybe Togo, they sit together and they speak to their borrowers and they say, listen, us together, that's what we are going to do. We are going to give you the money in January, in June, and in July. I don't know. But they come together, not individually. And if we are managing this type of clubs, if all Africa goes and negotiates its debt with one person, if all Africa, and that's the very same person that now tell those countries, hey, by the way, if you refuse the debt condition we're talking about, we don't sell you gold. We don't sell you diamond. We don't sell you petrol anymore. They will listen. But if we come and they say, no, we want to renegotiate our debt because we think it's unfair. And then after they say, okay, cool, but give us diamond. What are we going to say? We give the diamonds. You understand? But if they come and they say that to 3 countries, now they have a lot of diamonds, and us we have what? More debt. Just like that. Just like that. So those are a bit technical issues, but I think they are important because, as Sankara used to say, we have to reopen our imagination. What is possible to do? Oh, look, G20 without America. Oh, it must be a problem. No, it's a solution.
No, it's possible actually.
It is a solution. It is a very good news for the continent that those people stop looking at what we do so we can organize better. Because I can tell you that borrowers club, America don't want it. America don't want it. It doesn't want it. It doesn't want everyone to come and negotiate as one person. He wants 10 people to negotiate so we can play each other definitely. Oh, with you, there's a rebellion of Islamist people we don't like. So we're going to give you weapons, you fight those guys. And with you, we very much like your diamonds. Give us the diamonds and then we give you a debt relief. With you, you have no diamonds, no Islamic problems. We're not going to look at you. With you, you don't like homosexuals. No, we don't negotiate with you. You understand? They have the high ends. They have all the cards, right? Now it's time for us to gather the cards, put them together, and tell them, listen, this is how we play, how we
Very good. Thank you very much, Comrade Thomas Lissafre, Senior Researcher and a recipient of the Pan-African Pyramid Global Award of 2024 cohort. Comrade, is U.S. preparing to attack Venezuela? And how has Maduro regime responded? Donald Trump claims military buildup is necessary to stem flow of drugs to U.S., but some believe goal is regime change. This is Donald Trump here. has actually deployed the world's largest warship to the waters of the Caribbean and Latin America in an escalation of military buildup by the US and Venezuela. The aircraft carriers are already taking position along the borders. Comrade Lissafre, you see, what is America's problem with Venezuela? By the way, to tell you, because of this, Venezuela has started reaching out to Pan-African organizations across the world, and our organization is one of those that has already been reached out to go and show solidarity with the Venezuelans. And you know, Pan-Africanism is about humanity. It's not about the color, it's about humanity. Anywhere human life is threatened, there must be a Pan-African activation there to try to mobilize. So we sympathize with the people of Venezuela, and as a matter of fact, I will be flying there with my team. We will be flying there. We'll be flying there. One of the hardships I've already seen amidst the application for us to enable us to travel there is that most of the airlines, America in the underground methods has stopped them from flying to Venezuela. So the few ones that are risking are charging 3 times the normal price. 3 times.
Yeah, they
3 times the normal price, yes. But remember, they are risking. So you can understand. So one of the issues already America is doing to the people of Venezuela is that they are cutting them off from the rest of the world. You cannot do business with them. When you do business with them, America looks at you as an enemy of them. So they are using the rest of the world to fight their enemy. Venezuela is not Uganda's enemy. Venezuela is not the French enemy.
No.
Venezuela could, and for them, Venezuela could be having a bone to pick with America. But we don't have a bone to pick with Venezuela. So you can't make me hate Venezuela because you hate him. That's what America is doing. And they have been playing this stupid game for many years. That when they hate you, they put travel bans on that country. They put business bans. Look at Cuba. For over 64 years, under embargo, that you can't trade with Cuba. You, America, if you have problems with Cuba, Uganda doesn't have, Irumba doesn't have. How do you stop me from dealing with Lissafre because you quarreled with him yesterday? That's your business. It's not my business. Lissafre is my brother. You don't like him, it's okay. I have no problem with you. But you cannot stop me from dealing with Lissafre because you have a problem. America should deal with its problems with Venezuela alone. They should stop involving other people. So this is part of the message I'm taking there to speak. Already, now, me, I'm affected.
Yes.
Instead of using about 3 million Uganda shillings to reach Venezuela, I'm going to use over 18 million.
Yes.
Why should I pay that price? Because you disagree with Venezuela? Me? So this is the kind of bullying, this is global bullying by America, we needed to go and stage a war there.
The very same bullying that they've been doing with South Africa, trying to tell them they kill white people so they should not come to G20.
Look at the stupidity Trump has been raising. That there is white, what has he been calling it? This, the white boas.
Yeah, the boas.
That they are being...
The white people, it's not already chaos.
That they are being segregated. The whites that are being segregated. And Trump uses that as an excuse not to participate in the G20. But he has been participating in the meetings for the G20. You get it?
It's the bullying of politics.
But now, let's face it. In South Africa, there is a whole huge area where blacks are not allowed to enter. Are you aware? In this DNA.
It's called Orania. Yeah, of course.
There is a place in Africa, in South Africa, where white people occupy and black people are not supposed to enter there. In this day and age, But there is no any place in South Africa where a white man is denied from entry. But there is a point in South Africa where a black man is denied entry. Now, Trump comes and says, you are mistreating our brothers, the whites, in South Africa. He does not want to look at that. Secondly, 114 years ago, a white man comes and invades South Africa, kills the owners of the land, maims them, rapes the children, kills all of them, takes over the land of South Africa. Trump, I don't know whether he knows that history. Now, today, a South African who has been, living without enough land to till and have food for his family, comes and says, please, let us use parliament to demand that if you stole 100 acres of land from me, from my ancestors, but me, the grandson, has nowhere to dig, but that land is still unutilized. Let us use the law in the parliament to say we should live with you only with that piece of land that we've been able to occupy and utilize in the last 114 years. We leave it with you. You stole it, but it's okay. We leave it with you. Because there is your house, there is your garden. We leave it with you. But this other piece of land that you are not using for the last 114 years, you surrender it back to the owners. Trump is saying, no. You are bad people. You are mistreating our brothers, the whites in South Africa. Who is mistreating who? Lissafre. Who is mistreating who? The one who stole from me and even killed my people. Or the one who has come in a civil manner in a parliament to say, let us pass a law.
This men are settlers.
So I don't understand. What kind of head does Trump have?
A settler head. Settlers, they are the problems. Those that settle in Israel, those that settle in America, those that settle, the French that settle in Algeria before, the English that settle in South Africa, those are the problems. Settlers.
Settlers mindset.
Settlers mindset. Donald Trump is a settler. His family is a settler. They came to a new land that was not their land and they decided to make it their own, which was America at the time, right? But those were settlers. They have that settlers mentality. They have that mentality of if I take over and I do better than you in your land, then it should be my land. That's what they think. But they never do better than the people of the land. Never. So they start to trick it, to hide it, to play those games, right? But Honorable Speaker, you start by asking me a very important question, right? How can Trump does that to Venezuela? What is America planning?
What is the plan?
What is the plan? And it's interesting because we have made some research, right, with the research team of the Pan-African Pyramid. What we have found is three interesting things. We have found three interesting things that make me the confidence, that give me the confidence to answer your question very clearly. Yes, Donald Trump is planning
to
attack and
Venezuela,
to organize regime
and
change
overthrow
in Venezuela. Why does he do this? For the petrol. There's a lot of petrol there. He needs petrols in order to fight the competition with China. So you remember, he wants to bring back companies to America. All of this, he will need petrol. He will need energy, right? So the energy is cheaper if he controls it in Venezuela and that energy goes to America. Right now, the Venezuelan energy, the petrol, is going to China. So it's China that benefits from the high quality of Venezuela petrol. So Donald Trump wants this petrol, he wants this. But he also wants to make a statement of whoever goes against the interest of America, of United States in America, should not be allowed. He says, no, China would not allow nonsense in their borders, so we do not allow nonsense in America. But he forget that America is not the United States. It's not the United States. So he wants what? What does he want here? Let's look at those evidence. Let's look at those evidence. First, what we have seen is that suddenly Maduro, president of Venezuela, lost his status of president, according to American diplomat, and now become what? A drug lord. So they label a president a drug lord, right? And they organize a court to make it sound like
a drug trafficker.
A drug trafficker. So now they deal with a drug trafficker. They don't deal with a president, which already weaken what? Its immunity. It weakens the president of Venezuela.
You become susceptible.
It's
They can arrest you.
They can arrest you because now you're a drug lord. So all of us in this table want drug lord to be arrested, right? Of course, we all want that. If you say, no, we arrest the president, we're going to be like, wait, what? What's going on? He has an army, he has a police.
No, we have not arrested the president. We have arrested a drug trafficker.
A drug trafficker. So now they said, Maduro is not the president of Venezuela, he's a drug trafficker. We're going to treat him as such, right? And so as such, we are putting $50 million on his head. If you kill him and you bring us his head, something like this, you get $50 million. Okay. So now we have a president, an officially elected president, recognized by the international community that become a landlord. Okay, well, that's the first evidence that they are planning something. Second evidence, and this one, a few people know about it. But you spoke of all those boats, right? So they start to move those boats in the Caribbean, right? So Cuba is very concerned about that because they know, hey, usually when there's an American boat in the Caribbean islands, it's for us, you know? But now they see the boats going south. All those boats now become the biggest naval force deployed by United States in American history. So never ever America has threatened a country that much as it's threatened Venezuela. Okay, we see. Guess what? The leader of this of those boats, the amiral, you know, the boats, they are led by amirals because it's a naval war, right? The amiral in charge of this, he has resigned. He has decided to leave the American army. He has resigned after 40 years in power in the US. He has resigned because he do not want this operation to happen. He refused and he told Trump, listen, the American army will not fight Venezuela on Venezuelan water. He refused that. So he got kicked out. So the leadership that can lead this operation was not enough Trump. So he has resigned. He has been removed, right? So first, the amiral in charge of the invasions refused the invasion, then he got discharged. Secondly, Maduro is now considered a drug lord rather than a president, right? And then the last piece of the puzzle. This one, Irumba, I was very surprised when it came. This one, I discovered it. I said, no. That can't be so big. That can't be so big. This is too big. They give the Nobel Prize of Peace to the main opponent of Maduro. So now, when they will organize the coup, when they will push out and kick out Maduro, a drug lord, not a president, they will put who? A Nobel Prize of Peace. Who wouldn't like a Nobel Prize of Peace as as your next president? You know, a lot of people in the world, they look at their president being reelected, they say, a Nobel Prize of Peace. Imagine now you read that there's a Nobel Prize of Peace that become president of Venezuela. You think it's a good news. If you don't know the story, you think it's a good news for the country. Oh, that must be someone great. Listen, this very fake Nobel Prize of Peace, I'm not even going to say her name, by the way, in this show, on purpose. I don't want to say her name on purpose. You know what she's been claiming? What she's been doing? Her policy is very clear. You sell 100% of Venezuelan petrol to America. 100% of the petrol is sold to America. And guess what? They even supported Benjamin Netanyahu in Israel. They are supporting all those bad guys that try to disturb general orders. So Trump have chosen her. Trump have chosen her to replace Maduro. So now everything is ready. Maduro is not a president anymore. He's a drug lord, right? The successors is already, in French we say adoubé. I don't know how to say that in English.
Adoubé.
The international community, you have a Nobel Prize of Peace. So the one that is going
what
to
is adoubé in Uganda, in the English? Okay, in French, what does it mean?
You know, it's like if I say you are the speakers, everyone say you are. Or if you become the new king, everyone say you are the new king. I don't know how is it in English to say the people that recognize
you become like a puppet of America.
They become like
a puppet. This one is like a puppet. So whatever America says, they nod their head.
If someone come and said, I claim the governments of this country, people will be like, what's your credential? What's your CV? Okay? So now if you come and you say, no, I'm a Nobel Prize of Peace, people will think, you can do the job. You see what I mean?
They are trying to raise his profile.
So they raise the profile of the opposition that they will opposition.
And then they water down the one of Maduro.
Cut this opposition.
They blackmail him.
Exactly. And so
that is white mailing, not even blackmailing. That is white mailing.
They say Maduro is not a president, he's a drug lord. Oh, okay, based on which international law? No, based on us deciding. Okay. Then they said, we're going to attack him. And then the admiral in charge of the American army says, no, we can't attack those guys. We have zero reason. They are not responsible for the drug coming out. There's no drug coming out of Venezuela. It come out of Colombia. We all know that since a long time. It's clear and basics. This is America trying to impose and send a message to Latin America, to the rest of America, and said, listen, if you don't go with our interest, you go against us. So we will not allow such things. When it is not about the United States of America to control what Venezuela is doing of its petrol. It is not about the United States of America to control what Canada is doing of its borders. It is not about the United States of America to control what Chilean farmers are selling their meat to America or to Europe or to Africa. It is not about them, but they want to have a say because they want to strengthen their power because they know they are becoming weak in front of China. Because China is raising very fast, and these guys are raising very slow. So they try to find solution like this. They try to get control of Canada, try to get control of Greenland, try to get control of Panama, which they did, by the way, already. And now they try to get control of Venezuela. So you see, they kick out, and their plan is well established. Well established. So yes, there will be a regime in Venezuela. At least, yes, they will try. Thanks to people like Pan-African organization like us.
We are
maybe
going
it
there.
won't happen. Maybe you will go and
At
report.
least, you know, even if you're weak, they fight you while you're talking. But you can't close their mouth and then you fight them. No.
You know what?
At least you die when you're talking. So America, I think the days of America bullying the entire world into total silence is over.
It's over.
You remember what happened recently when they tried to attack Iran through Israel? It is America attacking Iran through Israel because they're the ones funding.
We saw it.
But you saw that the whole world was talking. And Trump, being stupidly wise, he had to find a way of jumping out of the kitchen. So he had to say, I have put ceasefire in 2 days. But the fact is, they were burning their fingers. They thought Iran was that weak that they would raid over in 2 days. It became 1 week. It became... So, it's better they realize that the world is no longer what it used to be yesteryears. Yeah. Now the world is on TikTok. It's on WhatsApp. It's on... We can speak. We can mobilize. You can imagine how long it has taken only 2 days from Caracas to reach out to me to mobilize me here. I'm in Uganda. Imagine. Those days of America whereby you had to write a letter, pass it through an email, then American spies read it. Then by the time it reaches Irumba in Kampala, it has already been opened. No!
Not like that. Irumba, do you know who is the last person that used to have $90 billion per year out of his petrol and that refused to sell it to America? You know who was the last leader that did that?
No.
Gaddafi.
Muammar Gaddafi.
You know what happened to him?
They killed him.
Voila.
And
so
what is
exactly what is going to happen to Maduro? What is Libya today? What is Libya today? We're asking the questions. What is this Haftar general doing for Libyans? We don't know. Where is the petrol going? We don't know. Right? So Gaddafi got killed for almost the same amount of money. Seriously, almost the same amount of petrol, because petrol means money. And guess what? Now they're on the case of Maduro, which is not anymore a leader. When they want to kill Gaddafi, what did they say? They say his people don't support him anymore, so he's not the leader of Libya. So if he's not the leader of Libya, he's a criminal against his people, so we're going to deal with him as a criminal. Exactly like they said with Maduro of Venezuela. They said, no, you're not a president, you're a criminal. We're going to deal with you like a criminal. So compare. By comparing. And that's why I think Venezuela is going to Africa, because Africans understand those things. Africans understand Gaddafi was here for them. Like, very much so. You go outside of Africa, people complain, hey, Gaddafi was a dictator, Gaddafi was this or that. In Africa, people know Gaddafi was there to protect the Africans.
Thank you very much, Comrade Lissafre. Now, finally, we will end with this one. On 26 November, just yesterday, the president of Guinea-Bissau, Umaro Sissoko, was arrested as part of a coup d'etat carried out by head of the military officer of the president's Brigadier General Denis Ichacha. Military officers declared total control over the country and established the High Military Command for the restoration of national security and public order. The coup occurred a day before the results of the 2025 Guinea-Bissau general elections held on 23rd November, in which Sissoko was running for re-election, were expected to be officially announced. So, he had actually won the election, and he had been announced, but now the commander of the military that protects the president has
taken him over.
Yes. I think it's not long ago when we discussed Madagascar. Now we're on Guinea-Bissau. The other day we were in Burkina Faso. The other day it was Mali. The other day it was Niger.
Gabon also.
Gabon. What do you learn from these coups?
So we can also add that there's some countries that don't have coups, right? Paul Biya of Cameroon didn't have a coup. Alassane Ouattara of Ivory Coast didn't front a coup. So sometimes you front coup, other time you don't front coups, and when you don't front coups, usually it's because you play with the right, the one that make the coups. Don't forget that. Listen,
in Tanzania also something was beginning to ferment, but I'm told that the UPDF crossed and put on the Tanzanian army uniform, and they did something. And that's something that was done is the reason now Tanzanians are taking Suluhu to ICC.
And Tanzania has to cancel its very own Independence Day. How sad is that? Like when you can't even do your own Independence Day, you can't even celebrate your independence. That's very sad. That is very sad.
Let's go back.
One thing should be you celebrate your independence.
Okay, let's go back to Guinea-Bissau.
Guinea-Bissau, Equatorial Guinea.
Equatorial
Guinea, right? It's not Bissau, it's Equatorial Guinea.
Sorry, yeah.
Equatorial Guinea. Let me be mutatina here. You guys like it when I tell the truth, right? Let me tell you the truth right now, right here. Equatorial Guinea is a joke, okay? It's one of those fake states that they created outside of colonialism to divide Africa. It's such a joke that it is actually physically two different spaces. It's not related. It is in one hand the land of Equatorial Guinea, and in the other hand Malabo, the islands where Equatorial Guinea is. But what, you're going to tell me, Irumba, but why did they try to divide again and again and again? Why could they not give Equatorial Guinea to Gabon, for instance, because it's inside Gabon? Why could they not give Equatorial Guinea to Gabon? Because what does Equatorial Guinea have? What do you think they have? The same thing that Gaddafi have, the same thing that Maduro have. They have petrol. Equatorial Guinea is having petrol, right? So when you have so much petrol, then you can make friends and protect yourself. President Obiang reached power in 1979. He ruled until 2020, right? When he stopped, he has to pass the cartel to someone else. Who is going to deal with the resources of Equatorial Guinea? Who is going to sell the resources of Equatorial Guinea to the world? Who is going to take the benefit of those Guinea? Because you have Guinea Equatorial, you have Guinea-Bissau, and Guinea, which is Conakry.
Conakry.
Right? Exactly.
But
So
I think the coup is not in Equatorial Guinea, it's in Guinea-Bissau.
Okay, so
it's Guinea-Bissau, not Equatorial
the
Guinea.
coup I was talking about happened in beginning of October. Now you have another coup in Guinea-Bissau.
Last night, yes.
In Bissau, right? The one I was talking about.
Yesterday,
Equatorial Guinea. Just to finish with Equatorial Guinea. Equatorial Guinea has a lot of petrol. So he has more petrol than he has inhabitants. So when we look at those countries, what we see is we look at governance that are cartel, and those are cartels that sell the petrol, right? So they have powerful allies. If they sell it to the right people, they stay in power. At the moment they try to sell it to the wrong people, like Gaddafi and Maduro, then there is regime change on them. In Bissau, Guinea-Bissau.
The one that happened yesterday.
The very same country of Amilcar Cabral, right?
Amilcar
Cabral, great Pan-African, probably one of the best of his generation. I believe definitely one of the best, if not the best. Has decided to be ruled by PAIGC, right? And when you have a coup in those countries, you can be looking at who is financing it and what are the resources involved, right? If it's petrol, like in Equatorial Guinea, or if it's gold, like in Congo, you have to look at those realities. Now, what we know is that West African youth have seen democratic institutions not functioning for them. They have seen elections that don't function to develop their countries. So now they are moving towards military rules, military leadership, right? At the end of the day, we spoke about that. We don't want elections. We don't care about elections. It's not the election that people want here. It's the truth. What they want is the rule of law. They want economic sovereignty, and they want justice. If those conditions are there, we do not need to have elections. We do not need, because those things destabilize and disorganize the country. So it is too soon to say exactly what happened in Bissau. We will investigate and spoke about that next week. But already what we can say is that it is, we have to look at this new leadership and see what are their plans for the country and for the use of the resources of the country, for the country itself, and not for international people.
They're actually overthrowing the so-called elected government. Okay, Comrade Lissafre, I think we have gone around the world. What is your closing remark on any of the topics?
I think all the time in our conversation in Rumba, we come back to the same point, right? Which is economic sovereignty. We have huge amount of minerals. What are those minerals doing for us? Are they developing the continent? Are they bringing us money? Are they bringing us good? What is it that we got in exchange of those minerals that everyone wants? Whatever, Iran, Russia, France, Canada, whoever, they want those minerals, right? Which every single country that tries to develop want those minerals, right? But as we're not looking at those minerals in the same strategic approach, I say we stop selling minerals to foreign agents, foreign people, not even foreign agents, foreign people. We sell our minerals within Africa, we transform them within Africa, and then people come to buy it from here. If Tesla want battery, we are open to make battery of Tesla. We are very open. Why is it that they take the material they want in Congo, then they make the battery in China, then they use the battery in America? Come directly to the resource. Come directly to the resource, help us to transform those resources, and then we sell it to the world. This is the best way to make sure that the 1 billion Africans that come in the job market by 2050, 1 billion people will ask for a job in this continent, they should be provided the jobs, because just the mineral itself, it's just transport. You just need to transport it, right? You might need to transport it. Now you might need to transport it, to change it, to package it, to sell it. Those are jobs for everyone.
Thank you very much, Comrade Thomas Lissafre Mutatina. My name is Anirumba Katusave. We have what we call X months with the Refugees Project. Every December on 20th, we travel, we identify one refugee camp where we go and visit and give relief aid. This December 20th, we are traveling to Changwali Refugee Settlement. It is found in Masindi. What are you supposed to do as a fan or as a friend of Pan-African Pyramid? Give us those relief aid items that you don't use at home, or whatever you'd like to deliver to the refugees this Xmas season. We are collecting clothes, shoes, scholastic materials, sports materials, anything that a human being needs, and you have it, and sometimes you're not even using it, please donate it to the Pan-African Pyramid. Then we shall pass it on to the refugees of Changwali Refugee Settlement. We shall be going there on 20th December. You can reach out to us using the phone numbers that are on there, on this screen down there. But also you can visit our social media platforms. Number one is the Pan-African Pyramid Facebook page. There's a Twitter handle. And also there is Andrew Irumba live Facebook page. Through there, you can be able to connect with us and get all the information there is that you need to know for us to connect and go and deliver. The people of Owino Market will be coming there the first and second week of December. We have always been working together around the collection of relief aid. My name is Andrew Irumba Katsabia, speaker, and Comrade Thomas Lissafre Mutatina has been here, and we say together, Africa, don't agonize.
Organize.
Don't agonize.
Organize.
Free your mind now. Be part of the People's Pan-African Parliament. The Pan-African Pyramid Debate with your speaker, Andrew Irumba Katusabe.